Dodie inspires me tremendously.
She was very adventuresome as a child.
So I think it's just her independence is what amazes me.
I was 20 years old when I lost my vision. I lost my vision because of diabetic retinopathy and had a surgical procedure done. I had been reading a book called Animal Farm before I went into surgery, and when I woke up, I was blind. I could not read anymore, so I've not read books visually since then.
Dodie handled being blind the same way she handled everything else in life. When she started going blind, she said, okay, I'm going to be blind. I've got to learn how to do it.
There have been huge challenges based on the fact that I can't see, but they're all things that can be dealt with and worked through. The biggest thing I learned from being blind is that absolutely nothing is impossible. I read incessantly. I use talking books, digital books from the library for the blind and visually impaired.
Killer problems. The code of Melbourne. DR. Tony's 2010 taxes. Tony's music. GDD. Humor.
On my computer, I can download books, digital books, and I have a player that I can read them. There are some advantages. I can do dishes and read. I can bake and read. I can clean house and read, except for vacuuming. I can take walks and read. I started learning Braille about 2 months after I lost my vision, and that took about 6 weeks. I just wanted to learn, and that's what I did. Coriander. Teaching piano has been a huge part of dealing with blindness. I had to learn how to teach as a blind teacher. I learned how to teach reading music when I can't see the music.
Dodie is a very upbeat person. She's very spirited. She has a great sense of humor.
When I was relatively newly blinded, I'd been blind for a couple of years, I was asked to babysit for some people who had been friends of my family as I was growing up. And Marcia and Eldon were going to go out on the town, and they were going to get home after midnight, and so I was going to stay overnight. And in the morning, I woke up before anybody else did, and I heard Marcia and Eldon stirring upstairs, and I heard her ask him, "Eldon, don't you want to wear a robe?" "Oh, she can't see." So I listened to him coming down the stairs, and when I judged that he was about halfway down and he would be in clear view, I sat bolt upright with my eyes wide open, and I announced, "It's a miracle, I can see." He's never forgiven me. This is a color identifier, and when I push this button, it tells the color of things. When I push this button and aim it towards lights, if they're off, it has a lower pitched sound like this. If it goes to an on light, it squeals. I'm a gadget girl. I like gadgets and that little tiny laser light. I like miniatures especially. So that was a fun thing.
Dark red, dark red, dark red.
I believe that life is as full as people choose to make it. And I don't spend a lot of time thinking about the things I miss. I tend to spend more time thinking about what I have and the wonderful things I get to do and experience in life. My dog's name is Rita. I absolutely love having a guide dog, and she stole my heart the minute I met her, and I couldn't be happier with a guide dog than I am with Rita. I get to take her everywhere I go, and she even sleeps on the bed beside me. She can go into restaurants, stores, hotels without an extra pet charge. She can ride in a cab. She can, without paying, extra. She's with me everywhere. She makes what I do outside, getting around and traveling, she makes it more fun. Everything I ever dreamed of, wanted, or desired in a guide dog.
She really makes an effort not to let circumstances get her down. She does her best to rise above her circumstances.
I raised a daughter, never seeing her at all visually in her life. She's 22 years old now. And I was married and never saw my husband. And there's a lot of things I miss. I miss being independent and being able to drive myself places. I was 38 when we adopted my daughter, Nikki, and she was 2 weeks old when we were able to take her from the state of Louisiana and take her home to Baltimore. And they sent social services people in to check and see if I could really do the job. And they watched me bathe and feed and dress and care for her. And they had to change her diapers. And they were totally satisfied that I was capable of doing the job, and they granted us permission to take her home with us. If I could recover vision without any of the problems inherent to long-term blindness and recovering vision, I would probably do it in a heartbeat to see my daughter's life,
You grew up in a household where you understand the power of discrimination. So they grew up with a very different mindset, I think, than somebody who grows up with a parent who has complete sight.
My favorite part of being blind is, and I came to this conclusion within the first year of blindness, I have absolutely no visual prejudices. I can't look at somebody and say, oh, you're too fat. I don't think I want to get to know you. Or, you're crippled. How do I act around you?
I think one of the biggest things that she can do that amazes me is that she can literally take care of herself. And, people think, oh, blind people, they're helpless or they need extra help to do this. Like, my mom can cook. She can clean her house by herself. She can go out for a walk, go get groceries all by herself.
Part of my belief is that Jesus is going to return. And I think about, wow, the next thing I'm ever going to see since I was 20 years old, the very next thing I'm going to see is going to be his face. And that's pretty awesome to contemplate. I am totally capable and adept at dealing with my life as a blind person. And I don't spend a lot of time missing seeing myself or anybody else. I mainly focus on what I have and the pleasures I have in life.